Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Thought Bubbles, sparkling insights into community engagement, coming to you from the warmth of my office in McLaren Vale, about 45 minutes south of Adelaide in South Australia. I'm sorry there's no beautiful McLaren Vale view again, but it's just too cold and I'm under the pump with a couple of clients this week, so I am kind of chained to my desk and just recording this quick message in between jobs that I'm doing. I wanted to talk to you this week a bit more about community leadership and some thoughts that I've had around community leadership since the first time I spoke about it, which I think was in about episode 2 or 3. It's really about, as a leader in your own community or a problem solver, it's often very difficult to find the time or the energy or the resources to do everything yourself. It's also not necessarily a good way to work because you're not going to have the energy or the capacity or the capability to make enough of a difference on your own, unless you're really, really amazing and got nothing else to do. But I know you're amazing. I suspect you haven't got the time or the capacity though. So for your own well-being, but also for the longevity and sustainability of your community. And by that I mean you're not going to be in your community forever. That's an absolute given. For one reason or another, you won't always be there. And what you've got to think about as a leader or a problem solver in your community is who's going to do things when you've stepped away. And so it's actually a good idea to be bringing people along on your journey with you, making stuff happen, getting things going in your community, so that when you do eventually step away, things continue to still happen. A good leader doesn't create followers, they create more leaders. It makes complete sense. And it's almost like cloning yourself. If you can get it right, you kind of bring other people on board and then they can be rolling out things and getting things going. And the more people that are involved, the more good things that happen. In all honesty, this is in reaction to a situation in my own community where I've been involved in a few different things recently. And there's a very clever person in our community who I think is a very good leader, a very inspiring person, and I've learned a lot from, who is also very good at bringing people together and bringing them on a journey and getting them involved, getting them signed up, but then is equally good at stepping away. I'm not going to go into the details of that stepping away other than mention it was 2 weeks in the Caribbean, leaving a whole group of people to kind of pick up and make something happen. Now the fact is they did. So what actually happened, as frustrating as it was, is a whole kind of new group of leaders emerged and made stuff happen without that original leader. And I think that's actually, as annoying as it is, genius. And I'd like to be more like that, stepping away. So what this made me think about, the whole community leadership and creating followers versus leaders, is there's a brilliant TED talk, and I'll share the link to it in the blog post when I share this post. There's a brilliant TED talk called How to Start a Movement, and it's only a couple of minutes long, so it's definitely worth checking out. But it talks about a leader being the person, and it's kind of a scene of like a festival, and there's people kind of sort of sitting around having food, and this one guy stands up and starts dancing. And he is the person that's kind of putting himself out there and has got the guts to stand out. But what the speaker of this TED Talk highlights is that it's not the leader, the person that originally does that is important in this situation. It's the couple of people that follow and that say, hey, that looks like fun, we're going to join in as well. The first follower shows everybody else how to follow. And what is really interesting in the video is how the leader, the person that originally started it all, embraces those first couple of followers and treats them as an equal and basically creates leaders in themselves, in them. So then it's not about the leader or the person that originally had the guts to stand up. It's actually about those couple of followers that came on board. It then goes on and on and on until it basically creates a momentum of different people getting involved. And whilst it's going to be that original leader that gets kind of like the credibility or the oh, it's amazing that you got up and started dancing, it was actually those first couple of followers that were the most important, that became leaders in themselves. So if you're a leader or a problem solver in your own community, it's important to nurture those first few followers and to take them on board as equals and to identify that they are actually about to become leaders themselves. Leadership is often over-glorified, and the leader does get all the credit, but as I say, it's those followers or those newer leaders that are the ones that really made it happen. So yeah, when you see somebody doing something great, have the guts to be the first one to join in, be that follower, and you'll emerge as a leader yourself, I'm sure. And then maybe one day we'll all learn how to lead, but then step away, because I reckon that's the way to do it. See you next time.